current situation and some of the messages you're hearing on this panel. So,
Thank you very much for that. So first and foremost, we at AfDB, when we hear gaps and deficits, we see opportunity. And we believe that Africa has a lot of opportunity. And I'll give 3 examples. In 2015, we came up with our strategy. It's a 5-year strategy. It was called Impact 2021. And this was before COVID. What we discovered was that Africa loses about $3.8 billion per annum through medical tourism. About $2.2 billion is typically spent on medical care, and about $1.6 billion is spent on the relatives that have to travel and accommodation. So per annum, that's about 600,000 people who travel outside the continent for medical care. So we reflected on that and thought, how best can we intervene so that we can bridge that gap? And what we did was quite bold. AfDB actually took on the role of developing a hospital. So as we speak, we've developed a tertiary level hospital in Abuja, Nigeria. We call it the Africa Medical Center of Excellence. This is a collaboration between AfDB and King's College of London. The reason why we collaborated with King's College of London is because we are financiers and we don't know much about medical care. So we partnered with what we think are some of the best practitioners globally. And this hospital is focused on non-communicable diseases. Again, this is as a result of what we're seeing as the trends in terms of growth of healthcare diseases in that particular sector. As we speak, the project, we broke ground and we expect to commission this hospital in Q1 next year. It's a 170-bed hospital. So that's one of the interventions we at AfDB are doing. But the reason why we participated or decided to go upstream and develop this particular hospital is due to the fact that we believe that the healthcare sector can be a business. And we wanted to demonstrate that if a financial institution can go and develop a hospital on its own, we can crowd in the private sector to replicate through significant demonstration effects that they too can invest in this sector. Happy to report that key investors have come alongside us. We've got the Dangote Foundation that's become a shareholder, Bank of Industry Nigeria is a shareholder, AFC is a shareholder. So through that, we've been able to attract funding. And we've seen some of our partners, such as NSIA, that's the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority. They have actually set up a special purpose vehicle or a subsidiary that focuses on healthcare. Now, what we've done is building on that success. We now want to develop what we call African Medical Centers of Excellence across the continent. As we speak, we're in discussions with the government of Cameroon to establish one to cover Francophone West Africa. We're in discussions to start one here in East Africa. And what we're trying to do is to replicate this success, ensure that we create regional hubs of excellence. Now, as we went down this journey, we also discovered that these investments need to be sustainable. And the next challenge was, where do we get these healthcare professionals? So as we speak, we're currently in the process of exploring establishing an African Medical Center Research Institute in Abuja. And this institute is going to be based, again, right next to the African Medical Center of Excellence. And the underlying rationale is as follows. We need to train our doctors so that they can supply this technology and this skills transfer so that they can work in these centers of excellence that we're establishing. Hopefully, again, this is a model that can be replicated. So this is something that we're pursuing. Then the other key intervention that we've also come up with is that we pursue interventions across the whole healthcare value chain. And we've gotten various products and instruments that support this. AfDB has established a private equity arm. It's called the Fund for Export Development in Africa. This is based in Kigali. So if you're looking for equity investors and partners to assist you in developing this project, I'm happy to put you in touch with them so that they can support you. Within AfDB itself, we support project preparation, which is a unit that I head. And what we do is we work alongside project developers and sponsors to put together the full suite of documentation so that we can advance these projects to bankability. Happy to report that to date, we've supported 2 vaccine manufacturing projects across the continent, one in Nigeria and one in South Africa. And we've also set up, we recently closed just 2 weeks ago, the first telemedicine healthcare solution in Africa. This is MobiHealth. And this speaks to what I heard from one of our colleagues, where you have a Nigerian doctor coming back to Nigeria to set up this telehealthcare solution. But this is not just a normal telehealthcare solution. What she wants to do is that she's piloted this in Nigeria, but she's going to roll it out in Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, Kenya, and Egypt. So there's going to be a lot of replication. Other than that, we also have our normal products. We've got export development funding, which is for project finance, for implementation, and trade finance instruments and risk-bearing instruments. So let me stop there.
Thank you so much. Very, very exciting. Thank you for that. Dr. Egbe, closing remarks on you, so you have 45 seconds.
Okay, thank you so much. I mean, 45 seconds, but this has been an amazing conversation, hearing from government, private sector, universities, and from people on Twitter. I think some of the questions that have been asked on Twitter have been answered, and we're going to make this recording available so it's wide. I'd like to use the opportunity to thank everybody for participating. And it was a really wonderful end with AfRexim, knowing that there are some financiers and you're galvanizing other financiers into the health sector. And a good way to end is that Anadach and CHS, we work a lot in the private sector, and we're very happy that some of the folks that we've worked with, and I think now 28 countries in Africa, are some of the folks that are either mobilizing money or mobilizing sort of the diaspora. And this is an area we remain very interested in supporting. And Mr. Zito, we're going to be talking to you about our accelerator. But thank you so much. I really think this is such a critical issue for Africa as we talk about economic growth. Thank you so much for attending. I'm really thank everybody and the panel, the very patient virtual panel, and Her Excellency, the Governor of Ogun State. We thank you very much for taking part today. And we also must not forget the African Development Bank. Thank you, AfDB, for giving us this platform, and for the technology folks that supported this to make this happen. So, and also thank you to Kenya for giving us the virtual space for us to have this conversation. So, and thank you very much to the CHS and Anadach team. Mareki and I just at there are lots of people who made this happen.